What's going on, everyone? Alex Prime here, and today I am taking a look at the Spectra enhanced wired controller from PowerA. And on the surface, this might be the best bang for your buck controller on the market for PC or Xbox One. And I'm going to explain to you why. You're going to be getting a lot of features on this controller that are generally found in something a little more high-end, like the Elite controller. This borrows some of those same features. It has mappable buttons on the back. It has three-way trigger locks. You can actually lock the triggers on this controller to how far you want to pull them to get your desired reaction. That is not something that you find on a regular controller. The regular Xbox One controller does not have that, just the Elite series does. This is a wired controller, so that's how they're keeping the cost down. I believe it's there it is, 9.8 feet long for the cable, so that's more than enough. And it also has RGB built inside. You can see here 7 colors of edge lighting. There's light around the controller, on the D-pad, the sticks, and the buttons. So that is a lot of features for a controller of this price point. $50 in Canada, $40 in the US. Pretty impressive. Let's go ahead and take a look at the back here. So it has a detachable cable, which is nice. The cable apparently is actually braided, so we'll take a look at that. There's the three-way locking triggers, programmable button, and a dedicated button to change the RGB color, which is nice. You don't have to do some weird combos of buttons. There's an actual dedicated button there. And you can see that there are the programmable buttons, one here and one on the side. And you have your audio jack as well. And then all the standard buttons that you would find on an Xbox One controller. And it does support Rumble as well, which is nice. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up, and I'm going to test out the buttons to see how the quality is. Then we'll cycle through the color options as well, so you guys can get a look at that. So I will be right back. Okay, and we are back. This is what you are given inside the box. There really isn't much in there. We have your little manual. If you don't know how to use a controller, there's that. This is the cable. It is braided. This is a high quality cable. And what's more interesting is it's not a generic micro USB. It actually has these latches on the side, so it will fit snugly into the controller. You don't have to worry about this falling out. They actually gave you a very good cable with this controller. That is nice to see. And it has these things, so there's a little bit of tension there, so you don't have to worry about the cord snapping. So that's really cool. But let's take a look at the actual controller. So I don't know if it's easy for you guys to tell, but this is actually soft plastic. Kind of feels a little, I wouldn't say rubbery, but it's definitely soft touch plastic. It feels very good. Buttons here. Let's take a look at the back. So here's what they were talking about with the programmable buttons. There's one here, one here. Here are the trigger locks. So you have different stages. Let's go ahead and play with that right now. So right now it's on T3. So you can see my finger here, how far we have to go down. Let's move it over to the next one. Goes a little less. And then the very final one, I don't have to touch it much at all, and it's already reaching the end. So this is very cool, especially for shooting games. You can decide how fast you want your gun to shoot or how fast you want this trigger to activate at all. I really like that feature. Something previously only found in a Elite series controller. And of course you could do the same thing for the other side. This is your program button, so you can set these up, and this button is for the LEDs. So let's just go ahead and touch some of these buttons, see how they feel. So these feel very good. They are not sticking whatsoever. I'm going to bring out a regular Xbox One controller here. Well, not regular, it's the Halo one, but you know what I mean. A Microsoft-made Xbox One controller. Just compare the buttons here. This is a little clickier, but they are very comparable. Yeah, and same with this button. These feel different. This is a little harder to push down than this. Nothing too difficult though. It has the same kind of tension as these buttons here. Now let's take a look at the sticks. Very good resistance. Comes back immediately as it should. Very similar to this. Yeah, very similar actually. D-pad. See how that feels. This is about on par. It feels slightly mushier than this one though. You can hear the clicks on this versus this, but it is definitely not a bad D-pad. Better quality than the Xbox 360 ones. It's about on par with the Xbox One. And the same thing with this. This feels fine. Clicks down easy enough. See how this is very similar. Then we have the buttons on the back. Nice and clicky. So when it's in your hand, it'll kind of rest like this. And you'll use this finger most likely to click that button. It rests perfectly where your fingers will lie anyways. And that button feels fine as well. The bumpers feel good. Very similar. They make different sounds, but it's very similar to the quality. So I'm going to go ahead and plug this in now, and then we'll just play around with the RGB so you guys can get a sense of how that is. Okay, and we're back. So here's the cable. As you can see here, like I was saying, it's a specially designed cable for this product. So it actually clicks while you plug it in. So this is a very good cable. It's not just going to fall right out. I'm pulling it right now. It's not doing anything. You do have to press on the sides here and pull it out. So you're not going to have any accidental cable loosening while you're playing. That is really cool. You can see here there's a little light just indicating that the controller is on. So right now we're just going to press the back button there to get the LEDs going. I'm going to cycle through so you can see what it looks like. So on camera, it doesn't look the same. Like this is a very dark red. Like it is, what can I compare it to? Well, the mouse will look the same, but it looks darker in person. This kind of gives like an orange tinge, where it is actually a dark red. It looks really nice. And you press it again, we have green. This is a very Xbox green, but again, on camera, it looks a little brighter than what I am seeing in person. We have a very dark blue. We have magenta. This looks really nice. And we have yellow. And a teal, I guess you call this teal. And orange. And then when you press it one more time, it'll actually cycle through all the colors on its own. And if you're just like, hey, I don't like RGB, can I have a regular controller? Press it one more time, all the lights are off. You have your standard controller. This is very nice. Not gonna lie, guys. You guys get a lot of features with this controller. Again, I was giving you a finger there, sorry. You get remappable buttons, and you can lock your triggers in different positions, and RGB for $40 US, $50 Canadian. That is a fantastic deal, and I think this might be the best bang for your buck controller that you can get for Xbox One or PC, provided that you are okay with using a cable. I do not mind wired cables, but I know some people out there just don't like it. So if you can deal with the cable, you can get a lot of the features of an elite controller. Soft plastic here, remappable buttons, programmable triggers, and you get LEDs for a crazy price. These guys, Power8, have knocked it out of the park. I, of course, will have to try this for like a month or so, see if there's any wear and tear. But as of right now, everything feels good. There isn't any poorly made buttons on here. The quality is excellent, even down to the cable. These guys did a great job. So if you guys have questions about it, let me know in the comment section below. I will be using this as my primary controller going forward. So I will be able to tell you if I'm having any sort of issues with it. I'm Alex Prime, and I hope you had a great time. Bye.